last day of Hedgehog Hollow's casing the catalogue for the new catalogue launch. Today we're going to be finishing up our Christmas cards with this gorgeous ornate bauble in the bottom here. It looks really complicated. It's actually a shaker card. Here's the one that I've made, and you can probably just see underneath there they've put some of the sequins in. So this is an absolutely fabulous card. It looks really intricate and that, but it's actually really easy. It's just a lot of big shot cutting. So I pre-cut a lot of things just to try and make it easier to show you. So let me grab all my bits and pieces from over here. Okay. So you will need the Delicate Ornament Thinlits dies, and you'll need the Christmas Greetings Thinlits. And from that I cut in the gold foil cardstock this Merry. So you'll need to cut yourself one of those. I'm just going to pop those away. And then you need to cut some thread for later. The little poinsettia, which is here in real red. You need to cut a bauble in Whisper White. And you need to cut a bauble outline in a piece of mint macaron. And this is a 1/4 A4, which will cut down to the appropriate size as we go along. And then you need to stamp out from the stamp set the little eyelet top and emboss it with the gold, and that's in the embossing. And if you don't know how to heat emboss, you can check out our tutorial on how to do that. And then I used the appropriate big shot die to cut it out. So that's all the elements that you need. I'm just going to slide these back in their packet. So now we can get assembling on our shaker. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down to the right size. So let me just grab my cutter. And you want it so that you've got just over 1/4 inch on each side of the bauble, like that. Tidy that edge up. So that is approximately 3.5 inches by 4 1/8, and I will put these on the blog post as always. I will save the bit that you cut out for later. That will actually help you out later on. I'm just going to slide that in my box. Okay, and then what I've got is a piece of the craft cardstock because it is slightly thicker, and that's 12 inches by 4 1/2. And then I'm going to fold that in half. Oh, mine looks a bit skewy. Let me just... That's better. Right, so I'm going to fold that in half. I've got a bowl. You definitely need the bone folder with the craft cardstock because it's just so much thicker. Put that along there. And then we want to stamp in crumb cake the Thinking of You at Christmas. And similar to a card we did a little while ago with the Acorny Thank You, you want to just stamp it in a fairly random pattern. And you're going to cover some of these up, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. So that's those. Now the next thing we're going to do is build our shaker. So you're going to take your piece of mint macaron, turn it over to the reverse side, put your embellished ornament inside, and then I grabbed myself a piece of washi tape, which is here. I'm just going to find the end. And what I did, because this sits perfectly in there, there's no overlap, just put your washi tape across like that, and that's absolutely fine for now. Then you're going to grab a piece of the window sheet. Now I have run out of window sheet, so again I'm going to use the photopolymer, so you know when we get our photopolymers and we pull that piece of acetate off, that's perfect for shaker cards. I'm going to put it over the top. So to do that, I put snail all the way around the edge. Let's give me a nice strong edge. But I also want it to hold my fine ornament in place. And to do that, I'm going to use the fine tip glue. So So I'm just going to squeeze it gently so a little bit comes out, and then I'm just going to run it over some of these lines. It doesn't have to be exact, but you really don't want very much, so don't do big thick lines because it won't work. So I'm just going over these lines. Okay. And just make sure you also go around the edge. Okay. Now when I built my original sample and I did this, I placed this underneath a heavy book for maybe an hour just to make sure it sticks. But I know we haven't got time to do that in this. So I'm just going to keep going and hope for the best. Okay. Put a bit more snail there. Shows you how sticky this all is. So there we go. And then I just trim round. And I find that's easier than trying to cut my acetate to size. I just going to trim all the way around. And you want to make sure that this is really tight. So as I say, if you stick it underneath a heavy book, maybe a recipe book or something, just for, you probably don't need the full hour, 10-15 minutes. That would make a huge difference to make sure that that's stuck down. Then the next thing we're going to do is our ornament top. So to do that, I've got a piece of the gold thread. I'm going to thread that through. Ooh. And I'm going to tie it like an ornament. Like so. And we're going to cut our ends. But that's actually what they do in the catalogue. What I did on my original one, and I don't like the gold thread, was I just put a bow on top, like that. And for this one, I'm going to grab the thin gold ribbon, this one here, and I'm going to thread it through and do it like the ornament top. There we go. And I'm just going to tie these ends. I'm getting there. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to pop a couple of little dimensionals, which I'm going to trim off my big sheet, onto the back, like that. And I'm going to stick that over. You can see my little top's going to wiggle about, so I'm going to grab a glue dot. Ooh. And I'm just going to stick it on the back of the ribbon so it'll stick down like that. So that's the top of my bauble. And the next thing we're going to do is stick down our Merry. And for that, I did try it with the fine tip glue pen, but I found that didn't work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue stick, but I don't drag it along because you'll get big thick bits of glue stick that will look really ugly on your card. So I suggest you do it that way, just a dab. And we're going to do the same with the little red piece for the middle. So you can see I just dab up and down. Line it up, stick that down. And now we can make our shaker inner. So to do that, you want your bottom piece here, and you need your embossing buddy just to remove all the static. And then I'm going to put that where I want my shaker to be. And I'm going to grab some foam strips. And I'm going to start, say, 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to make a rough bauble shape. And it doesn't matter if it's exact because you're not going to see it anyway. Which is why I'm doing the very generous 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Sometimes you'll need to join a strip. That's fine too. And we're going to rub our embossing buddy over again, just to take any tack that's left off the sides. And we're going to rub our embossing buddy on the back here, just to remove any static off the window sheet. And the last thing I'm going to do is a piece of the tear tape, if I can find it. There it is. And I want to do that on the left side, so by the M for Mary. Put that all the way along the back. Peel that off. And onto that we're going to put some of the lovely new pom-pom trim, which I've got here. And we're going to start just there. We're going to take it all the way along, so that just the pom-poms poke out on the other side. Trim that off. We're going to peel, I find peel these off before you put your confetti or something in, because the peeling them off, if you've got confetti, you've done. I've sat there a few times, I've had confetti just the perfect way up and it's looked exactly how I want it, and then I peel those off and it all jumps around. So just be careful then when you add your innards in, but just sprinkle them into the middle. That should be plenty. You don't want to put too much in a shaker. Take a few out, because otherwise it won't shake, it will just be too full. And then we're going to stick this down. And then we stick that down. And there is your finished shaker card, so you can see. And all you see from the side is a little bit of foam, and you could pop that in the mail. It's pretty strong. And I absolutely love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I have. We've finished up with our Christmas week, and we'll see you again in July for some more video tutorials. And we'll see you then. Happy stamping. Bye.